Hi, I'm Dr. Almisha Campbell. This is Innovate Exchange, and we are coming to you live from the University of Kentucky in Lexington. Welcome to Innovate Exchange, a show showcasing women innovators and entrepreneurs from universities across the United States of America. With me today is Madison Bates. Madison, welcome to this edition of Innovate Exchange.
Thank you for having me.
Can you talk to us a little bit about your journey here at the University of Kentucky?
Yes, so I came to the University of Kentucky with a Bachelor's of Science in Physics, and I enrolled in the PhD program for Biomedical Engineering. I'm currently a fourth year PhD candidate, and hopefully will graduate next year.
Oh, congratulations, Madison. So, can you tell us how your studies in physics and biomedical engineering converge with your doctoral degree?
Yeah, so I actually use everything I learned in my PhD career. My physics degree was very much applied physics, and I picked up hobbies like 3D printing, and so all of my work, so my actually what I'm developing in the lab right now is everything I learned in my bachelor's being applied to now my PhD.
Awesome. I love when I hear about 3D printing because that's also something that we do here in well with our students at Jackson State University. But can you tell me about the current impact of 3D printing and biomedical engineering?
Yeah, I mean, we're using it quite often. Our lab currently doesn't have our own, but some labs in our department do. They have different types for different reasons. I know right now that there are some companies that are partnering with the neurology department to develop filament that can go inside the body.
Awesome. Can you tell us about RAM devices and what inspired you to start this?
Yeah, so RAM has grown and evolved. It was first just an idea because I wanted to have something I do impact the lives of others, specifically stroke patients. So in 2010, my father suffered a massive stroke, which left him with impairments, mobility specifically on the right side, and he has the inability to hold a conversation. Currently today, there has been little to no improvements, and so I really want to develop these devices to help him and people like him want to continue the therapies because he's constantly frustrated with the current therapies that are there. He's flip-flopping different methods because he finds he just doesn't want to continue. He doesn't see the improvements he wants to see. And that's how RAM kind of took form is I want to develop these devices that it shows the patient that they are actually improving compared to the current assessments that they have today.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that about your dad, but it's good that you're taking this journey to ensuring that you can provide that need, for
Mhm.
him and making sure that he's not as frustrated as he is now. And not only would this be a solution for your dad, but solutions to many others that
Mhm.
are suffering with the same illness as he is. So I commend you so much on taking
Thank
that
you.
journey. So talk to me a little bit about your innovation and how you're getting the support here at the University of Kentucky.
It all started with my boss, my PI, principal investigator. He was really supportive when I joined the lab. He was the one who actually was like, "I have this idea for this grant. And would you lead this project?" And it was basically to develop a device that will monitor hand function. At the time, we didn't know how much meat would go into that building the device and validating it and all of that. But it's really flourished into this huge tree with all of these different avenues that I can take the device. And so he's been completely supportive the whole way. He's even supportive on my entrepreneur journey. So I told him I would do the Von Elm Center for Entrepreneurs boot camp, and he was like, "Go for it." He's been also very excited about the patent and wanting to help me get my patent for the device. And so we've been working closely with the Office of Technology Commercialization to further that. We have a provisional patent right now. For the boot camp side of things, the woman leading it, Miriam, she's just this powerhouse of enthusiasm, and every time I talk to her, I come away feeling so empowered and like, yes, I can actually do this. And so that's been really supportive and really refreshing to have, just not even like a boss support you, but also just like your mentors, and specifically your women mentors, wanting you to succeed and pushing you to succeed.
Congratulations on your provisional patent. I know
you.
that's exciting for you as a student. So, what would you tell other students, not just in your area, but in other areas, about the resources that are available to them from going down the patenting journey to the entrepreneurship journey? What would be one thing that you would say to them?
I would say there's resources out there, and if you are a little bit interested, do it. Jump off the deep end. Don't be scared. I actually joined boot camp as a team member, being like, oh, I'm just going to learn it and not really want to take the reins. And then after the first, like actually the first session, Miriam was like, you sound like a team leader. You need to be a team leader. And that's how that started. So I think anyone can do it. It takes a lot of work, but if you're really passionate about it and really interested and really want to see it through, you are capable. Anyone's capable.
So what excites you the most about your entrepreneurial journey? Because I see the smile in your face, and I know it's something that you're really enjoying.
Just already seeing the vision coming true, and knowing like each time, like I pitched at collegiate pitch competitions, and I go in and I'm like, oh, probably, I'm new at this, probably not going to get it. And then I do win one of the places, like, earlier this month, I was at the GSC collegiate pitch competition, won third place. Was not going to expect that. And that kind of fueled me. So like I got a little burnt out. I was a little worried. And then I did this. And then it just reinforced that this could happen. And for like the future of the company, I know like I want to be my own boss, but I also love mentoring and working with others. And so this company would be a great opportunity to mentor people in specific things, and then also grow it to potentially also reach out to universities and have internships to mentor the younger minds.
Okay. So talk to us a little bit more about the company, what it does, what's your value proposition, and what type of, did you set up a LLC or some other designation?
So this company is more of, I haven't set up an LLC. It's still kind of like the ghost company,
Okay.
It's the company, but not the company. But RAM Devices is more right now an idea. We do have a value proposition, which is related currently to the device I'm developing. So it's basically my mission statement, which is to provide motivation to the patients. And we're going to start with stroke patients, but I want to expand it out to all neurological trauma eventually. And so I want my company to work closely with hospitals and smaller clinics. I would like the location to actually be further south, because I've noticed that a lot of medical device companies are up north. And there are hospitals that need these special devices and special care too. Like, I'm not going to just give my devices to these hospitals and say, okay, you guys fend for yourselves. This is the device, you bought it, whatever. No, I'm going to be like, okay, you want me to like fix it? You want us to demo it again? Like, how do you want us? We're going to work so close with the hospitals, and we're going to have these relationships. And I think that's what's really exciting about the way I see my company, is it's not just selling the device to these hospitals. It's really working with the healthcare system.
I can already tell that your entrepreneurial journey is doing wonder for you, because you're now thinking about your after sales service and how you still have that connection with your customers. But I want to take it back a little bit to the personal side, if I may.
Yeah.
What does your dad and the rest of your family think about the work that you're doing currently? Not just with the RAM devices, but the thought of thinking about mentoring other young people in the profession.
Yeah, so my mom is fully supportive, and she's also an empowering woman. She's she's really well known in Lexington, and she's a doctor too, so she understands it, and she is fully supportive. Like she's willing to help me along the way. My father, he is stationed in Texas right now, and so, but when I do have conversations with him, he's overly enthusiastic when I tell him things. I send him my papers that I publish. I send him pictures. He's very excited, and he always wants to try on my device. And I'm like, it's not ready yet. You got to hold off a little bit.
No trying for you, Daddy.
Not yet. But no, he's very enthusiastic.
Oh, that's so exciting to hear, Madison, because you know why you're doing this, not just for your dad, but for the many other patients that are out there with stroke, and like you said, this may be used for other people with neurological diseases, and the impact that you can have. And we, in this profession of tech transfer and commercialization, we focus a lot on societal impact. How do we ensure that the people that needs these devices gets it and gets it at a reasonable cost? So I really applaud the work that you're doing. So, in what ways have your work with Dr. Matthew Beck's lab influenced your approach to research and innovation? And again, I see the smile.
So I volunteered in his lab for about a year, and it was more of like, I would say, jumping off the deep end, because I was at Center College at the time, so my bachelor's was at Center, and I was doing it for a research credit. I wasn't stationed in his lab, so I really worked remote, and this was before COVID, so not most people didn't work remote at that time. So I didn't have a lot of contact between the lab, but I learned to work independently, way more than I think if I was here in his lab. So I gained that skill to where I can really problem solve on my own, to the point where when I really do need help, then I ask. And I think that's benefited me a lot in basically getting through my PhD and working through all of the challenges I faced, is because I figure out creative ways to solve these things on my own, and then I also have a support system that I can talk to outside of it, but it's only when I really need it. I learned valuable coding skills in his lab, which I use for my system all the time, my device.
So not only are you learning to develop this, you're learning coding, you're learning 3D printing, you're also taking yourself into entrepreneurial classes. You have a patent pending. What do you not do, Madison? What do you do, or what do you do in your spare time?
In my spare time,
Yeah.
I play pickleball and I play volleyball. So I locally play pickleball, and then I'm on leagues at it's like a restaurant bar type facility. It's indoor volleyball courts. Anyway, but that's what I do on my free time, I guess.
Okay.
Is sports. And then I also perfect my pitch and go over my business plans.
I'm happy to hear that you find some downtime to play pickleball and volleyball, because a lot of times in this space of entrepreneurship, we keep going and going, we keep working, especially when you're working on devices that would have would be a global impact, frankly, that we often don't take the time for ourselves to do the things we need. So I'm happy that you have that balance going on. What is something, with all these diverse backgrounds that you have and experiences in these different areas, what advice would you give to other students in terms of taking care of themselves as they can work on this journey of entrepreneurship, of innovation and commercialization?
For taking care of themselves, they have to know when to take a break, I think, and that's something I've learned. I mentioned earlier that I was getting burnt out, and it happens to everyone. You just can't keep going. So it's okay to say no. And I used to be a yes person. Like 2 years ago, I was saying yes to everything, and I was doing way more than I'm doing now, probably. But I completely burnt out. I needed at least a week of just no contact with anyone to actually revive myself. And that kind of put perspective of what I needed to do for myself. And for students who get burnt out, or they feel like they're going to, just take a step back, take at least like an hour or two out of your day just to either be by yourself or do something active if you're that type of person, to expel energy, like negative energy. But I think really just 2 to 3 hours a day, just taking time to look at yourself and where you are and really reflect is what is really good.
I think that advice not only go for students, but I think I'm going to use that same advice that you just gave, because we too as adults, we get burnout, and oftentimes, especially women, we see ourselves, or people see us as the superhero. You know, we're moms, we're educators, we're researchers, we're innovators, we're doing so much things, and oftentimes we don't look within to say we need a break.
Yeah.
And I love that you talk about the negative energy, because there's some energy that fuels you to keep going, but there's also some energy that causes you a little bit more headache and heartache, and and even thinking about it as you were talking, I said I definitely need to take that 2 hours and run away sometimes. I probably need to pick up pickleball too.
It's a very fun sport.
Yes. But thank you so much for being with
Yeah,
us,
thank you
Madison.
for your
I
time.
love hearing about your journey, and we look forward to, following up to see where you are about 2 years from now, to make sure that you continue and see the impact that you have. And I know your dad, your family, all excited about everything you're doing, and so am I. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. And that has been another edition of Innovate Exchange. Thank you for joining us.
At Jackson State University, we're not just focused on today. Our students are building tomorrow. The JSU Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship is redefining education, a vanguard of technological innovation. This is what the future looks like. This is what tomorrow holds. Learn and teach, research, build and grow. Jackson State University. Become who you're meant to be.
Of Innovate Exchange. Thank you for joining us.